Hi, my name is Robert Plemons, and this is my presentation number 4. My nonprofit that I came up with is called Safe All Terrain. Some brief history of why I decided to do this. Back in 2013, my little brother was involved in a really bad ATV accident. It was at our ranch. What happened was him and 3 of his friends were driving and they hit a muddy spot while they were turning, and the ATV flipped. My little brother's leg was hanging out at the time and it got trapped under the ATV. Out of everyone, my brother was the most hurt, but he was able to pull out his phone from his pocket and call my dad. My dad and the other hunters, they went out there, they found my brother. They were able to call an ambulance, but the situation was so serious that they had to be airlifted. So my little brother, he was airlifted from our ranch around Cristobal, Texas, to the hospital area. I believe it's called Shannon Hospitals in San Angelo. From there, he was there for about 4 hours, and they told him that they didn't really have the resources to fix it or that they could amputate his leg, and that there's about a 50% chance of him keeping his leg if they sent him to the Houston district. And so that's what they ended up doing. Him and my mom took a plane from San Angelo, from the Shannon Hospital, to the Houston district. There's quite a few hospitals up there. I'm not sure the exact one he was at, but it was a really good hospital. From there, my brother was in the hospital for about 2 months. He had basically a surgery or a procedure almost every day. You'd either have a surgery to go in and fix something in his leg, or they would go in and clean the wound because it was an open wound. Eventually, my brother needed a skin graft, and they took that from his thigh, put it on his leg. And then my brother was in a full leg cast for about 1 year. He was in a wheelchair, wasn't able to walk, couldn't really move much, and he was on tons of painkillers. I believe the painkillers took a huge toll on him mentally. Every single night, my parents had to change the wound, and I had to sit there and try to distract my brother from the pain. That was really tough on our family, and it was really tough seeing my little brother go through all that pain while I'm just sitting there helpless and can't really do much. That took a big toll on my parents as well. Eventually, my brother was able to walk. He was on crutches for a while, and then after about 2 full years, he was fully recovered. After about 1.5 years, he was able to walk, but not very well. After about 2 years, my little brother could walk, he could run, play golf. Not to what he used to be able to do, but enough to where he's normal. The strain, one thing I want to talk about is the strain that ATV accidents take on parents, families, and the victims. It's really unbearable. My brother was in constant pain almost every day, and then for pretty much 2 years recovering, that was terrible, and especially being on heavy doses of pain medication. We all know about opioids and people getting addicted to pain medication. My brother never had a problem like that, but that is, being on pills like that long is not good for your system, not good for your brain, and can be very addictive. What can we do to solve these accidents? Simple. We can't solve these issues or these accidents, but we can take the right steps in preventing them. Accidents are going to happen. Accidents have happened since these vehicles were created. They've been happening since cars were created, since planes were created. Basically, they're always going to happen, but we can take the right steps to ensure that ATV riders, especially young ATV riders, have the proper knowledge and safety training in order to ride these vehicles and hopefully prevent an accident. What are some major causes of ATV accidents? According to joblawllc.com, approximately 135,000 people are involved in ATV accidents each year, and about 300 to 400 are killed every year. Approximately a third of these deaths are children. That's over 100 children dying each year. Ages 15 through 24 saw the highest number of fatalities among the amount of accidents. And age 35 to 44 had the highest number of accidents involving someone with an alcohol blood level content of over 0.08, which is the legal limit in Texas. Based on the data from the sources that I looked at, I believe a key factor is lack of knowledge and lack of knowing how to handle these vehicles, since they are very different from cars. Most of the time, these involve four-wheelers or small little vehicles that are a little bit bigger than go-karts that do run on gasoline that are very powerful. Given that the largest age group was 15 to 24, it's safe to assume that at least half of this group was not intoxicated at the time of the accident. And if we factor that in with the amount of children that have died each year, we can assume that more than half of these accidents were not alcohol related. With lack of knowledge and safety being a key factor into this, what can we do to stop this? I'm sorry. Most people, some reasons that these accidents do happen are the lack of weight. It makes turning very difficult. It's easy to turn, but it's very hard not to flip over when you are turning. Most people are not used to the rugged terrain that ATVs are meant to drive on. Going fast and hitting a muddy spot is a great way to flip over your ATV. What is my solution? Safe All Terrain. Safe All Terrain is a non-profit that I have produced. It is a city-to-city pop-up tent-like workshop providing free ATV training to children and adults. Safe All Terrain will go from city to city, weekend by weekend, providing pop-up shops, both in the classroom and on an ATV. It'll provide in-person instruction. Considering that most of the classes I found were online and not in person, I believe in person can make a huge difference in actually getting to hop on one of these vehicles before you take it on by yourself. To cover expenses, I plan on gaining sponsorships from ATV companies. Not only would this help them promote their product, but it would also be a great look for their branding that they are for ATV safety. We allow vendors to come and sell products when we do a pop-up classroom, and then we will also sell merch to people. That will cover travel expenses and paying our workers. What will the course cover? It will start off with basic classroom instruction, and then a quiz over safety will be conducted. For the students that pass the quiz, they will be allowed to go ride the four-wheelers in person with an instruction. The instruction will be one-on-one to make sure that the ATV doesn't get out of control, and the speed will be reduced on all of the vehicles, making sure that they can't go over a certain speed limit. That speed limit I'd like to see at 10 miles per hour. I believe that is a safe speed to go on an all-terrain vehicle. Some key points the workshop will focus on would be keeping rider speed at 10 to 15 miles per hour, not riding after dark, wearing safety gear and a helmet, riding with an adult until you are of age, and focusing on the fact that these are tools, not entertainment. They're meant for jobs, not racing. We'll make sure to keep a cell phone in case of an accident, and you make sure you know the layout of the land. And then how will the city benefit from this funding? Now, how will the community benefit? Funding will provide free training for children and adults wanting to learn ATV safety. Eventually, if a permanent workshop was built in the city, it would bring more traffic into the city, creating a better economy. Finally, it would provide around 30 jobs. The end goal would be setting up workshops every single weekend in cities around Texas. Right now we are focused on ATV safety, but I believe some fields we could go into eventually would be outdoor safety and gun safety. I could see this eventually. I could see us eventually getting into boat safety as well. Thank you for listening.